Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Zed and welcome to this video. This is last week I watched number 13, and recently I have seen this content creator called Rick. His channel is called Down to Movie, and he has been putting a bunch of different movies into a hat, and him or someone from his family picks out a movie and that's what they watch. And for me, a big problem I've been having over the last couple of weeks is feeling motivated to find a movie to watch. So I thought, let's just leave it up to chance. Let's just put in a bunch of movies into my beautiful Tom Hardy Venom bucket. And that was loud. And just leave it up to the universe what I'm going to watch for the week. And also, if this does well and I actually like this process, maybe I'll just do this every week or every other week or something of that nature. But I'm definitely going to put in a good handful of movies into the bucket. I have my my pen and my post-it notes. So let's get started. All right, so now I have a handful of movies in there. I don't know how many I picked, but a little bit less than I had planned. But I was just kind of going through and looking through my collection, and also just kind of thinking in my head what movies I want to watch. But I might add more throughout the week. But again, this is an experiment to see if it will work or not for me, if I actually like this process. But without any further ado, let's shake it up and let's pick one. And the first movie of the week is World War Z, which is actually the movie that the camera's bouncing on right now. So let's get into it. Wow. I cannot believe I haven't seen this movie sooner. World War Z was incredible. There's not much I didn't like about it, besides the ending being opened up to a sequel that has been long awaited and has kind of been in development hell. This movie introduces amazing concepts and is non-stop adrenaline, with great performances from Brad Pitt, and Peter Capaldi popped up, the 12th Doctor from Doctor Who I was just like, oh my god, I haven't really seen him in much besides Doctor Who. I was so happy to see him. This movie is it's fantastic. It is fantastic. And the zombies are unlike anything I've ever seen. Just so strong. And the pack mentality. And just, they're so fast. And it's crazy. It's crazy. I absolutely loved this movie. 5 out of 5 stars. I am ready to watch another movie, so I'm gonna shake up the bucket real quick. Let's do a little shake up action, and hopefully let's get something just as good as World War Z. And I'm gonna pick this one. What are we gonna watch? I liked Pixels. You are just as shocked as I am, because I honestly thought I wasn't going to like it, but I really, really did. This is going on the list of unpopular movies that I actually like. I thought it was funny. I thought it was visually amazing. Has a great cast and just a unique, quirky, funny, dorky story. There's a lot of things that I've heard over the years about this movie, and while watching it, really none of those things bothered me. Like people saying, like, Kevin James, where's he at? Kevin James as the President of the United States. That's just unrealistic. Yeah, and fucking the centipede coming out of outer space is fucking I digress. I honestly think the comedy in this movie was really good, especially with Josh Gad's character. He made me laugh the most out of anybody in the movie. And his relationship with Adam Sandler and their back and forths were also really, really funny. You have that big boy right there, Pac-Man, which I'm a Pac-Man collector, and if I could get to my Pac-Man collection, I would, but it's all displayed right here. Oh, I can grab this guy right here. My boy Pac-Man was in the movie. Pixels is a good time, and I will fight for it to the end of my days, just as I fight for Daddy's Home 2 for Best Picture. And now we will be picking the next movie I will watch, which will probably be later on after my stream. Let's dig around. Alright, here's the one. Be lucky, be lucky. I thought Pixels was going to be so bad. Twister! Okay. Alright, Twister. So, I just got done watching Twister, and I have to say, I had a really good time. Twister follows a bunch of storm-seeking individuals as they try to find a new way to calculate the inner workings of a tornado to better help them and also spread the news sooner so people can prepare when a twister is about to happen. This movie has so many familiar faces. Philip Seymour Hoffman is in it. There's a guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The guy that plays Cameron in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I mean, they're all in it, and I was just like, one after another, I was like, I know you, I know you, I know you. One fun fact about Twister is Twister is the very first movie to be commercially released on DVD. So Twister is the very first movie to ever be put on DVD. Now, when I say that, do I mean it's the first movie to ever be pressed on DVD? No. Technically, adult films, adult pornography, were the very first studios to print DVDs, and whatever media porn goes to, so do movies. VHS, the porn industry was doing VHS, and they moved to DVD, so the movie industry moved to DVD. And then there was HD DVD, and the battle between HD DVD and Blu-ray. And the reason Blu-ray won out is because that's where the porn industry went. And yeah, so very strange but fun fact. Overall, really enjoyable, groundbreaking CGI. I was watching a video by Corridor Digital where they're breaking down the CGI in this movie. And from the producers that brought you Jurassic Park, so basically Amblin Productions helped make this movie, because this is also based off of a Michael Crichton book, who wrote Jurassic Park. So Twister is another one of his books. So Steven Spielberg also helped bring Twister to life. So very fun time, very enjoyable. I really liked it. I would give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. And then next up, we're going to be picking another movie. Hoping for a good one. About to sit back and eat some pasta. Dirty Dancing! Alright, I've never seen this movie, so this is a first for me. So let's get into it. Shit. Dirty Dancing. I just got done watching it for the first time, and I have to say, I really enjoyed it. I knew a basic premise. I knew that Patrick Swayze was like some type of dance instructor. Baby was learning dancing from him, and then a love story ensues. But the surrounding elements, the vacation, the was it a resort? I don't really know where they were at. The conflicts that happen throughout the story, the relationships that are built, and yeah, I just didn't know really a lot of the innards of the story, but I definitely enjoyed watching it for the first time. It's definitely one I can see myself coming back to. Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey are two fantastic leads. I love their chemistry. The music is awesome, and the story is great. I definitely, when I was watching it and you find out like Baby is going to step in for the other female dance instructor because she needs to get an abortion. That was like so. It's a concept that I'm obviously aware of, and I've seen other movies, but from this time and when this movie came out, 97 maybe? Yeah, 97. You know, that's something that I thought would be a bit taboo, but they went for it and it worked really well, and it created a rich story that could just be as basic as a love story, but there's a lot of really rich elements that really pull together and make it a heartwarming story. And yeah, overall, I really enjoyed Dirty Dancing. It was definitely a good first time watch, and yeah, if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. Dirty Dancing, 4 out of 5 stars. And then, since I cannot wait, I'm just going to pick my next movie. Whether or not I watch it right now, I don't know, but I'm going to pick it. Here we go. Here is the magical next movie. Sully! Sully is it's actually right here. I can pull it out. Sully was one of my favorite movies of, what year did it come out in? Came out in 2017, maybe 2016. One of my favorite movies of that year, so I'm actually really excited to revisit it because I loved it so much the first time. Sully. This is a Clint Eastwood film starring Tom Hanks and Aaron Eckhart, and it recounts the events of U.S. Airlines Flight 1549 as it performs an emergency landing onto the Hudson River. This is the story of Captain Sully Sullenberg and First Officer Jeff Skiles. It's nothing less than extraordinary. And this is one of my favorite, if not my favorite film of 2016, and just one of my all-time favorite movies. And look at this. I can't even fit all of it into the frame, but needless to say, I love this film. Now, this is truly a movie you have to experience for yourself. I watched it for the first time a few years back with my great-grandmother and my great-uncle. Now, this happened in 2009, so I was still fairly young when this happened, but it was a world event. I mean, this is something that was extraordinary, and people around the world just couldn't believe that it was successfully done. And watching this with them, we all were just crying and weeping. It was so emotionally impactful. And this time around, while watching it, I cried just the same. I was like, like not gasping for air, but I was losing my breath, and I was crying. And it was just like, if you want to make Zed cry, pop in Sully. It's just such a powerful story, led by my favorite actor of all time. Clint Eastwood is an extraordinary director, and his ability to take something that only happened within a couple of minutes and turn it into a feature-length film that tells the story from all different angles and tells the story of the investigation, what happened in prior to the crash, what was happening in the moments leading up to it, what happened after. Like, he took something that was no time at all and turned it into something that was so incredibly powerful. Sully, I absolutely love this movie. 5 out of 5 stars. Now, we are running low on movies in the bucket. As you can see, there's not too many left, like 4 or 5. So I am going to be adding more because this is working out very well. But Tom, what are you going to give us today? Here we go. Clueless. Okay, another movie I've never seen, but I want to give a watch, so awesome. So it has taken me a couple of days, but I have finally gotten around to watching Clueless, and I really enjoyed it. It is, how do I say, it's cringy in a good way. There is a lot of lingo and technology and just references in this movie that are a bit cringy, out of date. This movie came out in 1995, so there's just a lot of stuff in this movie to laugh at that might not necessarily be meant to be a joke, but in hindsight or whatever, it's just kind of like, oh, that's ridiculous. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I like the characters. I like the development between the characters, the interactions, the social interactions, and overall, it's one of those stories of a girl who is kind of out of touch, very preppy, very much, about popularity and about material items, kind of learning that that's not exactly what you need in life to feel happy. So, though it's cringy in a good way, it still is quite cringy, but it's still a lot of fun, and there's a lot of things in here that I could definitely find myself just saying, like, as if. That, every time she said it, I was like, that's perfect. That's a perfect catchphrase for this character. So, Clueless, a good time. Paul Rudd, handsome as ever, 3.5 out of 5 stars. So I have gone ahead and added some more movies to the bucket. We were getting pretty low, and I was starting to anticipate what we were going to be watching, but I've kind of forgotten a lot of what I put in here. So here we go. The next movie will be The Breakfast Club. Okay, you know what? Going from Clueless, a high school comedy drama maybe, to another high school comedy drama. This is before, and this is after. Now, it's not perfect lighting. I could probably use one right here to my right, but honestly, the lighting has been bothering me in my videos since my very first one, and I finally was proactive and decided, there's like 6 lamps in my house that are not in use. Why not make a use out of it? So, The Breakfast Club. I do not talk enough about John Hughes. I talk a lot about my favorite movie, Jurassic Park, but my other favorite movie of all time is Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which is written and directed by John Hughes. The Breakfast Club follows 5 teens as they spend an entire Saturday at school together while in detention. Now, you have a criminal, you have a brain, you have a princess, you have an athlete, and you have a basket case. And all of those personalities together, and all of the romances and friendships, and just people that at least don't think they would mesh well together, end up really becoming good friends, all in basically a Saturday afternoon. I love this movie. There's so much to learn from it. There are so many great lines, so many great characters. And there's really not a single thing about this movie that I think falls flat. I think altogether, it's pretty much perfect. And that's just kind of a John Hughes movie for you. He just makes incredible teen movies. I don't know, teen dramas. He's an incredible writer and an incredible director. And The Breakfast Club is just an incredible movie. And I just can't get enough of it. Now, with that short review being said, I think it's easy to tell that I'm going to give The Breakfast Club 5 out of 5 stars. It's just that fucking good. And that will conclude this episode of Last Week I Watched. Now, to be fully transparent and honest, I did end up choosing another movie, and that was 50-50. 50-50, okay. But I was not able to get to it, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold it back up. I'm going to pop it back in the bucket. So that will go back into the pool and someday in the future I'll be able to pick it and watch it again. I think this last week was a huge success, and I'm very, very happy with the results. And I do plan on doing this more and more. Whether I do an entire week of it, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm definitely going to keep Tom around to make those decisions a bit easier when I'm very indecisive. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And until next time, guys, I'll be seeing you later. Peace.